All right, thank you, everybody. So first, who I am. Okay. I'm working at Nokia at the Migo computers since 2008, and I've been there. I'm the Python guy there, so I've been leading the PySide community project and the Harmattan Python project. And also, I am doing hands-on stuff with Python and our Python environment by maintaining the internal Harmattan Python distribution. So because Python is used a lot internally for all kind of systems testing purposes and so on. So they need to have a stable and working environment there. So I've been doing lots of, especially lots of Debian packaging and integration and all kinds of that with the Python packages there. I used to have a previous life as a speech scientist. I did a PhD in speech processing and in voice quality analysis before joining Nokia and making a change of career to be able to work with Python there. I also in my research I was utilizing Python a lot. So even though I'm giving the Qt talk here, I'm actually not part of the. I'm not a troll. I'm not part of the Qt organization, but Migo. But since they heard that I would be coming here, they asked me to give this presentation here. So this is going to be mostly a high-level overview about the Qt ecosystem and then how it relates to Python and so on. So I'm sorry there's not going to be much of code here except a little in the end. I'm first going to introduce Qt, what it's all about and so on, and a bit about like the marketing stuff and so on, and then I'm going to describe how it relates to, because it's a C++ development framework, so how does it relate to Python then, and why am I here in EuroPython talking about Qt, and describing the two most important Python bindings projects, PyQt and PySide. And finally, I'm going to then have a short demo of how to get started with PySide programming on the Nokia's N950 developer device. Like some of you might have heard about the Nokia N9 being announced on Tuesday. So there's also a respective developer device already available to selected developers, and I'll be showing with that how to start programming Python with that for it. Okay, so Qt was originally an independent company in Norway called Trolltech, and got bought by Nokia in 2008 to be the foundation of Nokia's future user interfaces. And there's more than 250 employees working for Qt in all over the world, and over 5,000 commercial users, companies using it. And what it is then? So it's a many people like having a long background with Qt or other open source components regard it as a one sort of a widget set. So yeah, it is that, but it's also much more. So there's it's a complete UI development framework with IDE tools and all like really rich class hierarchies to develop on and so on. And it's usable for desktop, mobile, and embedded development, and is actively being used in all three categories. And there's a huge community behind it. So there's 500,000 commercial and open source developers using it, and there's also a lot of professional services and support and training and an active open source community behind it. Okay. So, where is it used then? The traditional thing is that it was used as a desktop widget set, but nowadays it's like on the hardware platforms. It's used in various kinds of embedded devices, such as set-top boxes, printers, I think elevator control panels, mobile phones, of course, But in addition to that, like on desktop also, like on various kinds of fields, like from data imaging to Google Maps or like Google Earth and so on, and lots of companies using it. One showcase for an application would be, like, well-known application would be Google Earth. The user interface there is written using Qt. And in the open source world, of course, KDE, the whole KDE environment is basically built on Qt. So there are Qt widgets like all over the place, and then Qt and the Qt framework is in very active use. And they are all, like, just alone in the KDE ecosystem, there are well, more than 4,000 applications. So it's a big thing by itself. So what was the reasoning behind Qt? Why was it like started? So in late 80s and early 90s, the then available widget sets or like user interface toolkits were really primitive, really awful to use. This is the screenshot is of the Athena widget sets designed made in MIT, and it was really ugly. Like the applications looked horrible, and they were like they just required a lot of code. This was like the simple Hello World application required more than 200 lines of code, and still looked like it looked. So it then started. There were two pretty young guys there, like Havard Nord and Eirik Schambeng, and we're sitting in a park bench in Trondheim, Norway, like apparently being pretty frustrated about the motive and Athena widgets and so on. And okay, yeah, we should have something better. And there's this really new thing, this object orientation. We've heard of it. We have tried it at the university. So I think we would need an object-oriented presentation system that would be using these fancy new techniques. And there were then some design guidelines and or ideas, so that it's of course supposed to be easy to use, like for the programmer, and it should be reliable and work well, and it should be multi-platform, like it should be both on Unix and as well as Windows. So it happened. The first release took a few years, so it was 0.9, which was in 1995. And at that time, okay, it was not an open source license by the time, and it was released since the web wasn't really prevalent at the time, so it was released on an FTP server and announced on Usenet News. But things moved forward, and in 4 years there was the version 2 with an open source license, although not compatible with GPL. And lots of new features like theming, and Unicode support, printing, mouse wheel, and a user interface tool, or graphical tool for designing the user interface is called the designer. And things moved on from to version 3, which had then more than just the widget set, like all of the XML database network, input, output, and so on, and lots of features in the basic widget set itself, and also internalization tools as well. And there the licensing was GPL version 2 on the X11 platform only, and commercial on Windows. And yeah, Mac support also came in at that time. A few years after was 4.0, which was a major redesign of the framework. It was fully GPL or commercial licensed, and had lots of really a lot of new features, but it was also a bit of a pain because it was not very backwards compatible. So it's it took quite some time for people to adopt it. So where we are now then, it's already 6 years since 4.0, and world has changed a lot, and so has Qt. First, like some of the more trivial but still significant things are like is the WebKit integration. New versions of Qt have a really modern Qt WebKit 2 like HTML rendering support, and it's actually it's actually been used in for example in the N9 mobile phone as the HTML component. So it's really good. It makes it easy for applications to embed web pages or HTML content and interact with them. Also, the world has changed so that nowadays things like touch and screen rotation capabilities are taken as granted. So that the toolkit should allow the users to or the developers to easily develop like applications which adapt their layout, for example, when changing when rotating the screen or and which are easy to use on fingers and on other like non-desktop user interfaces. And yeah, so Qt is very strongly moving towards this. There's been around for a couple of years this concept of QML, the Qt markup language, and associated with Qt Quick, the framework offering UI components and so on. Make it really possible. Make it possible and also really delightful to do these kinds of interfaces. So I'll show a little live demo of an early demo program of QML, which is a simple Flickr viewer. So it's here. It just takes a few Flickr tags and shows them in a gallery-like fashion, and it's really fluid and okay, and makes for easy interaction. And this doesn't actually even use C++ at all, but this is all done with the user interface definition language, and in less than 1,000 lines of code, and allows this all kinds of dynamic interactions. All right. So and this also has allowed okay, these are screenshots from the Nokia N9 and it's there all of the user interfaces have been done with Qt or Qt Quick, and it's really it's probably better to have the demo like offline after this session, but I can show the interface to you, and it's really fluid and it's really easy to use, and it's extremely finger friendly and smooth. So and there's no much magic behind it. So it's very easy to do with Qt Quick. So in addition to the technological progress in Qt, it's nowadays it's also pretty much a requirement that projects are becoming open, not only as in open source, but also in the manner of open governance. So that before, Qt used to be very much a single company driven project, but it is moving towards an open governance model where any developer contributing to Qt would be treated equal. And this was actually something that was going to be launched last week in the Qt Contributor Summit in Berlin, but apparently they ran out of time. So I would expect this to happen anytime soon, and it's really going to be so that there are not going to be any Nokia internal discussions about Qt's future directions or so, but everything will be in open, and any individual or company who wants to participate can. It's not going to be a democracy, so it's still going to be about who is willing to put effort and resources for developing it, so get to have more say, but still anyone can contribute, and anyone can become a committer or maintainer, or have a role in the Qt development organization. Okay, I'm going to sidestep now a bit, and this is probably the most marketing thing I'm going to explain here. So the high-tech industry has basically been moving in these kind of cycles, which are more in which the amount of devices has been growing by every time by an order of magnitude, and around 2002 or so, there was 1 billion units of cell phones or desktop internet, and now we are moving into another cycle where there are a lot of these mobile devices are embedded mobile devices, such as cell phones are still the obvious case, or music players, but or tablets, ebook readers, but also these all kind of smart TVs or smart media players or entertainment systems, which are more and more becoming connected, and more significantly, if you want to develop for these, you are not going to use the same paradigms as in, for example, in the desktop internet. So the user experience there is very, very much different, and Qt is now something Qt is approaching this with the Qt Quick framework and so on. So if you are using Qt, you should be safe to develop for the, or set to develop for the so-called next 10 billion devices as well. And the Qt Developer Summit last week was the Qt Contributor Summit last week was mostly about roadmapping Qt 5, and it's going to be a major new release of Qt. The code base is already there. There's going to be alpha releases, I think, this summer, and beta later this year, and around April next year might be the final Qt 5 release, and it's again going to be a major release. So there's the graphics architecture will be redesigned, around this around a scene graph concept, so that's every user interface element will have GPU acceleration, and you can add shader effects on top of any UI element and so on. And it's also Qt Quick will be pushed very hard into the spotlight, so that's the prime mode or the recommended mode of operation will be, instead of using the Q widgets, would be to define the user interface using the QML declaration language, and then do the business logic with C++ or in Python, for the background. And there are some internal changes, like the source code will be modularized, so that the internal development of Qt will be easier, and so on. But there's a lesson learned from the last major release, from the transition between Qt 3 and Qt 4. So this time the API will not be broken unless it's absolutely deemed necessary for some purposes, and even then it's going to be mostly in the fringe areas of the framework. ABI will be broken, so applications need to be recompiled. But if you want to use Qt 5, but again Qt 4 is also going to be present for a really long time, so shouldn't be much of an issue. So, okay, again, this is still EuroPython, and what has this all to do with Python development? So I'm preaching to the choir here, but everybody here knows about the efficiency of writing, like how fast it is to write Python code, and I did a bit of digging and found this like IEEE article where they objectively compare different languages and compared how their performance in different tasks, both the runtime performance, but more interestingly also for things like the total time for programming stuff, and Python is very much like at the top here, the leading language. It's written in 2000, but things shouldn't have gotten worse since. Performance is not an issue. There are already lots of embedded devices using Python, and the devices anyway have so much memory and CPU power that it doesn't really matter. And since with the new all the new kinds of devices, the time to market is not going to be any less significant factor in development than before. So Python is together with Qt should be very well suited for the next 10 billion segment. At the moment, there are two major Python Qt binding projects available. PyQt, which is developed by Riverbank Computing in the UK. It's dual licensed and it's very widely used. And then there's PySide, which is developed by the OpenBossa labs at INDT, and it's a project sponsored by Nokia, and it's LGPL licensed. So we'll go a bit deeper into PyQt. It's as said, it's developed by Riverbank Computing, where the main developer is Phil Thompson. I think Phil is around this conference as well, but I don't know if he's here or not. PyQt has been around forever, so the 0.1 release was done in 1998 already, and what it provides is a mapping of the Qt C++ class hierarchy to Python, and it's a fairly complete thing. So it's only some things which don't make sense to have in Python are not present, and also the support for different versions is very good. So there is support for Qt 3 and Qt 4, and as well as Python 2 and 3, and there's GPL and commercial licensing available. So and related to that commercial support as well. So if you're a company and you need to have commercial support for the tools you're using, like PyQt has you set there, and yeah, it's the currently the most widely used Python bindings project for Qt. This is okay. These both PyQt and PySide are based on more or less automatic generation of the bindings. So this is a very high-level schematic how PyQt does it. So it takes in the Qt library headers here, processes them with GCC XML, and then uses an internal tool called the Metazip and the Metazip database to combine the headers with the custom source code where necessary to create zip files, which are kind of a combination of the headers and the custom source code, and the zip files are then used to create the binding source code, which are compiled to the Python bindings. And here it's remarkable that the MetaZip tool it's not openly available. So unfortunately, it's only Riverbank who can perform this full binding generation process. As a PyQt showcase, I rather randomly selected the Calibre application, which is an ebook management software and is extremely popular both on the Linux and Windows desktop as well as Mac, I believe. It's a mature software with which you can go through, like archive your ebooks and manage them and edit metadata and move the books between your reader device or send them by email and so on. And it's a very full-featured and fancy thing to have around. Okay, another side step. So, going to describe a bit about Nokia's involvement with Python. So Nokia has actually a pretty long history there. So first in the Symbian world, there used to be the PyS60 project, providing Python and basic bindings for the Symbian platform. And then it's got some reasonable use and popularity, but then maybe more interestingly, there have been these Nokia Internet tablet devices, and then as a continuation to them, the Nokia N900 phone, which was released in 2009, and there was almost from the beginning the PyMimo project provided a good Python environment for those devices. So they were native Linux devices, and you could write code which was basically PyGTK, but adapted to the device interface, like this Hilton interface. And later on, also PyQt and PySide support became available for them. And now, last Tuesday, or this week's Tuesday, this Nokia's N9 device was announced, which is the first MeeGo or MeeGo Harmattan device by Nokia, and there's also a complete or rather complete Python support. So it's based, the support is based on the PySide bindings project. And it supports both the the QML and Qt Quick, but also and Qt Mobility and Qt and other platform APIs which might be useful for Python development. So it's a very nice device for hacking, hacking with Python in mobile environments. And this also gives you a motivation, why we are interested in PySide. PySide is a project developed by this Open Bossa Labs at INDT. It's sponsored by Nokia, and it's been around for 2 years. And we released the first stable release in March this year. It's LGPL, so you are able to write also commercial software on it, and you're not without having to buy a separate license. And also, it was a requirement for us that the complete toolchain is available, so that you can actually also automatically generate other bindings for which would be compatible with PySide. And from the very start, we have tried to run the project in a highly open governance mode, so that people can participate and people can submit code there without having to sign any kind of contributor agreement or so. So that we try to that way also kind of promise that the code stays in the open. The project is highly compatible with PyQt. PyQt in general makes a lot of sense, like how they do things, and in most cases we have just adopted their practices. We have some deliberate API differences, like in places where we think that we can do a lot better, or like in which we don't want to support some PyQt legacy features or so. As a PyQt showcase, or PySide showcase, I would demonstrate a pod catching software called gpodder, which has been before available for the N900 and other devices, I think, as well as desktop Linux. Now, yeah, if you can take it. Now we have also ported it to or there has been this the developer of gpodder, Thomas Pearl, who I think is at the moment giving a teaser talk in the big hall, is. Oh, there he is. Give him a hand. So he has been visiting us a couple of times this year and porting a gpodder to the platform. Let's see how it works. It might be that it's not really perfect because I have no easy way to show it. So I'm going to use the webcam of the laptop. There, and do we have anything here? We have something, and so here we have the list of podcasts which have been subscribed. It's only one over there at the moment, but I can tap on it and have like the list of episodes available, and I can tap on it again, and okay, the text is completely invisible, but there's a description of the episode, and then I can play on the triangle, and let's see if the roaming works. Might be making just huge phone bills. Okay. Come on. Oops.
But it turns out that flops and disasters.
Oops. Okay. Well,
not only teach us something about economics,
the network probably isn't the best possible at the moment. Yeah. But then you can do a lot of stuff with this, but basically the user interface was well. How much did it take time for you to do it?
Some days for the basic UI, and then of course getting it really shiny and working for all the special cases. So yeah, in this case the UI is done in pure QML, so you don't need any of the device-specific APIs. But things like, for example, the input box, of course, you want to use the device-specific input elements so you get all the support for the virtual keyboard, stuff like that. It can be done in, the UI can probably be done in 1 week, 1 week's time, and then just hooking you up with all the Python code.
All right. But that's about it. You don't properly see that much of it, so I'll move forward for now. Okay, and then back to PySide then. So PySide uses a somewhat similar code generation scheme as PyQt, but the internals are pretty much different. So we obviously as well start from the Qt library headers, but then also we have a type system description, which is an XML language stolen from the Java bindings, Qt Java bindings project Jambi, to describe how to describe the kind of the C++ idioms in Python or in some other language, and then in some cases, for example, how where we need to deal with pointers and so on, we need some also custom glue code, and we have that, and the library headers are parsed, and the the other data makes up a type database, which are then fed to our generator backend, which then generates direct C Python source code. So we don't use like this kind of meta, this wrapper approach, like with the zip and libzip as PyQ does, but we create direct CPython source code directly, and it's only use an auxiliary library for some minor things there. So, but in general, it's more or less the same, but also the whole toolchain here is available as part of the project. So actually, when you are building the bindings from source, then you are actually going through all of these loops in an automated manner, and it can be very easily adapted also to generate other either other Qt-based bindings or C++ bindings in general. Okay. Now I would be showing like how to start PySide development on the using the Nokia N950. So how to start up a project and how to get your first program running on the phone itself. So we have created a small tool for that called the PySide Assistant. And I'm going to use that to generate a project template for us. So PySide Assistant init EP demo, EuroPython demo. PSA tool is very much work in progress, so it looks pretty ugly at the moment and so on, but it already does the basic things. And also, I think I have a few, somewhat an older version here, so so the newer versions might already do things a bit differently. But oops. If I go here, we have a basic project layout. We have actually, is it better now? We have the main script here, which is just imports the like the Qt libraries and. Sorry. Oh.
Right.
Okay. Better?
No, thank you.
All right. So, and this is just like a skeleton. It only instantiates the like the QML view and then other declarative view and loads the source from this QML file. And if we go look at that file, this is basically all the UI our application at the moment has. It's just a rectangle which forms the page and then has some text in it. And let's now change the text and make the font bigger so that there could be a chance to see it on the camera. And now I can just run it here on the desktop. Hello, EuroPython, which doesn't quite fit in the window, but it's okay for our purposes now. And the other files which are around here, they are metadata related to packaging and so on. So we have the basic distutils packaging set up for you, and also we have some other configuration files for the Debian packaging set up here already, and now if we just now want to run it on the device, we can say PSA build deb and come on. There, bam. Who says Debian packaging had to be difficult? Here we have our Debian package. And now, if I just cycle the USB networking, come on, there. SCP the Debian package to the phone. Bam, there. then we can, oops, SSH to the phone. There, we have our Debian package. We can install it. Perl, ugly. And it's done. And now, if we go look at the results. Hello. Swipe away. Swipe down, down. There we have our. It's visible. Yeah, it's kind of visible. Our beautiful blue box. We have no icon at the moment place, so we just tap it. And oh well, okay. It says "Hello EuroPython" here, but it doesn't really show on the webcam. And okay, how much should I have time still? 10, 15, 20 minutes. Oh, okay. Then I've been rushing. In that case, yeah, I'll continue. I'll then make a, because now the Python code there didn't do really anything, because it was just the wrapper to start the QML user interface. So let's do something really simple. First, go check the QML file. Here, let's make it, for example, so that we have a timer which triggers so that the font size increases in the text every 2 seconds. Okay, close your eyes. I'm going to write some JavaScript. Enlarge text. And hello, which is hello is the ID over here, and then just font.point size equals to hello font point size plus 4. All right, and closing brackets. There, that was the thing we had to do in JavaScript, or I opted to do it this time. You could do it in pure Python as well, but it would look a bit different. And we go to the Python side. Okay, let's just it doesn't import Qt core. So now it does, and then.
Could you do set background equals dark? And then
like this.
Yeah.
Did it help?
Yeah. And flip the color of the font also.
Okay, give me. How do I do it?
Oh, don't ask me. It's just a suggestion. No, but supposing of the phone, I return or the editor.
If it's okay.
For the editor, okay.
If it's okay now. All right, cool. So, okay, so what we have here is we have our view, here the Q declarative view, and now we have been instantiating with our QML source file, and now let's say put it here. Let's take our root, the QML root object from the view object like this, and then we'll make a Qt timer, which is the timer element in Qt. Qt core.Qt timer, and we can connect the timer. The timer's timeout signal to the function we created in the QML file, like that. And then we can start our timer, have a timeout of 2,000 milliseconds. And then we, like after that, it's just like we show the application and enter the main loop, and that's it. And what happens now? Let's see first on the desktop. We have text, which, hey. Okay, it's very basic. And again, now that we want to have it on the phone, we are doing the same stuff again. PSA build deb. Should be faster now, maybe. Let's hope. Yes, bam. And SCP. The result to the phone. There. And now we can again install it here, and meanwhile I can kill the previous instance. Okay, come on. There. And if I again rig the camera. Hello. How it's there. And now, okay, it might not show any better than previously, actually, I just realized that. But we have the blue square there. Let's tap it. We have the Python text, which is growing. Yay! All right, so it doesn't take that much more than that to start developing on these devices, like with Python, and do the user interfaces. And QML is also, it's very nice. Like there are there's a few full widgets that actually defined in the QML language. So it's just basically a matter of replacing the rectangles and so on with buttons and all the other QML elements, and they just work. And so it's a very efficient way of defining the UIs. All right, what do we still have? Summary. To recap, Qt is a really great solution for rapid cross-platform application development. It's natively on C++, but Python support is there as well. And you can write code for desktop, for mobile phones, or the embedded devices, or whatever the new emerging device classes, the next 10 billion devices might be. There's a high-quality support for Python by either PyQt or PySide. They are having a bit of a different emphasis on like what they're doing. PySide is maybe more oriented towards the where we have more emphasis on the mobile devices, and PyQt has a very stable and established commercial market and lots of desktop development, and with Python and Qt Quick you can't go wrong. The time to market is unbeatable. That's it. There are some links, but you can just use Google to find all the information you can nowadays in the world.
Hi. Is there any kind of integration with the Qt Creator?
Oops. Not at the moment. You can, of course, define the user interfaces with Qt Creator. We have been looking into it, and Qt Creator is also going to be in the open governance mode. So if only we would have enough time and resources, it would be possible for us to do it. There is already some Python support in Qt Creator. It does do automatic syntax highlighting, and apparently there's already some kind of Python debugging support there, but it's not at least it's not enabled by default and so on. But I was talking actually to the team in Berlin last week, and they told that they had implemented it to test it with an alternative debugger backend. So so it shouldn't be that much of an effort. Well, there are some things, of course, like to get the like code competition working and then project integration and so on. But it shouldn't be impossible. But not there at the moment. And it should be like it should be interesting for both PyQt and PySide as well. Like you could use the same Python support there for either of the projects.
Hello, I have a question in general about Qt and Nokia. I've read some rumors that Nokia is not really that much interested in Qt anymore. How much truth is in that?
I think our news of our death are strongly premature. There actually is. There are actually even some internal really big projects using Qt at Nokia. So. But which are not announced yet. So and Qt is very heavily being used in them, and yeah, Nokia's support for Qt is not going anywhere anytime soon. So it will be there, and also in like you should be able to expect that in the open governance mode there are other companies investing more in the direct Qt development. At least Intel is interested to continue with the MeeGo platform using Qt.
Okay, thanks.
How do you imagine any conflicts of interest between, say, Microsoft and Nokia might get resolved in the area of user interfaces, as Microsoft obviously has a strong interest in Nokia and vice versa now?
Well, yeah. At the moment, I don't think like there's any internal effort at Nokia to for example, to put Qt on the Microsoft phones, on the Windows phones. But on the other hand, Nokia would be stupid to allow to rely on just one single company for all of its like development or all of its user interfaces and so of course like you could perceive it as a competing project towards the Windows phones, but it's I don't think they're like I think they're both still going to be there.
Hello, I just have a more general question.
Sure.
How many devices do you think Python would be supported on from Nokia and in general as well with other companies? I mean, Qt is great technology, but you need to deploy on as many devices as you can. So
yeah. Well, I don't know about the numbers, like if you mean the sales numbers, but at the moment for MeeGo or MeeGo Harmattan, there's just going to be the one. Like no decisions about any like continuation for that. But then I would expect there to be MeeGo phones coming from other vendors as well. I've at least heard some rumors, and MeeGo is using Qt in the mobile UX, so that it would be there, and the same stuff. Like we are like I was demonstrating would be usable on MeeGo as well, except for the packaging. But we are also going to support MeeGo in like with a PSA tool later on. So it should be a fairly straightforward thing to port between the Nokia's user experience to generic MeeGo.
And when you talk about mobile device, it's also tablets. You can include that tablets.
I don't actually remember how it goes like that. I think there's a separate tablet UX for MeeGo, but
PySide works on the MeeGo reference tablet UX. I'm not sure if any vendor has released the tablet UX yet.
Is it an ID for Nokia?
But basically, PySide and all these QML stuff runs on the MeeGo reference tablet UX as well.
Okay, thanks.
Is there any news regarding having access from Python directly to the QML components and not having to go through the QML language?
No, I don't think that's in the scope because that like, and I personally don't think that would make much sense because, well, okay, you have to use like JavaScript in the QML side, but then you can it's where like how much of the user interface you define in the QML side and how much or the interaction you define in the QML side and how much in Python it's kind of line drawn in water. So if you really are into keeping as much as possible in Python, you can like you can work that way, and by okay, I don't think like from performance point of view it would make sense to generalize the QML structure so that's like it would like you could plug in any language you would want there instead of JavaScript, and then also the tooling would be a problem because then you wouldn't be able to use for example Qt Creator to create the UIs there. So in that sense I think it's easier for the Python projects to go with the flow and just use enough JavaScript. It wasn't that terrible. Like I just wrote one line and got the functionality going down there. So
no, I'm thinking more about if you for example now you have a GUI with one rectangle.
Yeah.
Say you want a GUI with n rectangles where n is in Python, is a variable in Python, and then you say I want to create.
You can pass the data from Python into QML, then generate a UI and write a QML.
Yeah, but then you're splitting your logic in.
No, you're basically just exposing some kind of data from Python to the QML side. For example, in gParter you all have the data all coming from Python, so the UI kind of adapts to the data coming from Python, but you don't really define any UI in Python itself. You just provide the data and the QML takes care of rendering. For any advanced features like, I don't know, location, accelerometer, stuff like that, there's tunability findings.
Yep.
So if you don't want to do any UI, if you're just interested in the like device-specific APIs, you can access them from Python as well.
Yep. All right, there's one.
I just want to mention that the qtnokia.com website is done with Plone.
Say again?
It's done with Plone.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.